Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel where we talk about how to harness your gains and save smarter. Today, we're tackling a common issue: what to do with your stagnant money. Cash that's just sitting there, not working for you. Imagine this. You're a sole trader, setting aside 15% of your weekly income to cover your tax bill at the end of the year. But instead of letting that money sit in a separate account, why not make it grow? Let's explore some smarter options to make your money work for you. First, let's cover a few reasons why you might have money sitting around. One is tax obligations, as mentioned. If you're a sole trader or freelancer, you may need to set aside money throughout the year for your annual tax bill. Another, emergency fund. You might be saving for unexpected expenses, and you may have extra income. You could have residual income from a side gig or some extra cash lying around that hasn't been allocated yet. Now, instead of leaving that money stagnant, there are ways to make it grow while still keeping it accessible. Let's jump into some options. Our first unique option is peer-to-peer, P2P lending platforms. Apps like Lending Club, Prosper, or Harmony in New Zealand allow you to lend your money directly to individuals or small businesses. Think of it as becoming a mini bank. You loan out your cash, and in return, you earn interest as the borrower repays the loan. The upside? You can often earn much higher interest rates than you'd get from a savings account or term deposit. But here's the catch. With higher returns come higher risks. There's always the chance that the borrower might not repay, so you need to be comfortable with that risk. The platform typically rates borrowers based on their credit worthiness, so you can choose the level of risk you're willing to take. P2P lending could be a great option if you want higher returns and are willing to take on some risk to get your money working. Next up, we have the high-interest savings account. This is a super safe option. You can find accounts that offer higher interest rates than regular savings accounts. And the best part is, you can usually access your money anytime without penalties. If you're setting money aside for taxes but still want it to grow, this could be a great choice. Just be sure to compare interest rates from different banks, as they can vary. Another solid option is a term deposit. You lock your money in for a set period, like 6 months or a year, and in return, you get a higher interest rate than with a savings account. It's safe, guaranteed, and you know exactly how much you'll earn. However, some term deposits have penalties if you need to withdraw early, so make sure you find one that aligns with your time horizon. If you're setting money aside for a year, a 12-month term deposit might work, but always check for flexibility. If you're okay with a little more risk and have a slightly longer time horizon, consider broad-based index funds or ETFs. These funds track the performance of a large market, like the S&P 500, and typically have lower fees. The great thing about index funds and ETFs is you can sell them anytime, so if you need to pull out your money after a year to pay your taxes, you can. But here's the downside. The stock market can fluctuate in the short term. So while you could see a nice return, there's also a chance that the market could drop. Historically, these investments grow over time, but for a one-year investment, you have to be comfortable with the possibility of some loss. Next option, short-term bonds or bond ETFs. If you want something a little safer than stocks, short-term bonds or bond ETFs might be a good middle ground. Bonds are essentially loans to governments or corporations, and they pay you interest over time. Bond ETFs let you invest in a basket of bonds, offering a bit more safety than stocks while still providing returns. If you need to access the money after a year, bonds or bond ETFs can be a good option to earn steady interest without taking on too much risk. Now, let's talk about risks. Options like high-interest savings accounts and term deposits are low risk, but offer lower returns. Meanwhile, investments like index funds, stocks, or P2P lending come with higher potential returns but also more risk, especially if you're only investing for 1 year. If your money is earmarked for something specific, like taxes, you may not want to gamble with it. Consider your risk tolerance and time horizon carefully before making a decision. To sum up, here are some ways to make your stagnant money work for you. 1. Peer-to-peer lending platforms. Higher returns, but with risk. 2. High-interest savings accounts. Safe with easy access. 3. Term deposits. Guaranteed returns, but check for withdrawal penalties. 4. Broad-based index funds or ETFs. Potential for higher growth, but be aware of market risk. 5. Short-term bonds or bond ETFs. A balance between safety and return. Each option has its pros and cons, and the right one for you depends on your financial goals and your comfort with risk. The key takeaway? Don't let your money sit idle. Make it work for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on managing your money smarter. And drop a comment below. What do you do with your extra cash? Let me know your strategies. Catch you next time.